Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me a voice. I will today talk uh, about phosphorus with recovery from biogas digest coming from flour, sour, meal, strong, wheat strong, and the work is made by University of Hohenheim in Stuttgart by Professor Hans Eschler. The work is saying why is so because nearly 75% reserves of phosphorus in Morocco, and without depletion we have no phosphorus. The most important, therefore, we need to find another method to recover our demands, and most comes to recovery uh, from the waste, and one is to recovery from wastewater by special adsorption techniques. The other is to for example, from wastewater, and other is by separation by adsorption or by coming from struvite from wastewater. Other method is to get from biowaste, like here by Wheatstone. The main case is therefore when we have one of important case, the issue is to recovery. The very important is measuring phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen ash. It's not only because it influence on quality of fermentation, but also it's the level that bottom can be used to recover phosphorus. The case is we have membrane separation due to phosphorus, and another is that we can use by biochar, by pasteurizations, and by special some absorbing layer. The phosphorus is by membrane or by special absorbing, for example, by adsorbent like algas, even also, or by solving other case, or by special marbles. And this is the case that we can separate and catch this phosphorus, and this is the recovery is by biochar uh, and uh, and moreover is by separation wastewater. Here we have the biogas research plant here coming from energy crops, and the way that the use was here as mixture of and solid cow manure, and then mix with wheat straw and how it works. And here we have hydrous magnesium sulfate to catch this phosphorus or biochar comparison. The reactor was using the reactor was for 17 liters of wastewater coming, and then the separation. The experimenter was sent in use by phosphorus method of concentration solid phase digested in in unseparated digested. So how much phosphorus was taken recovered, and this is showing that cooperation with biochar treatment for pyrolysis, the phosphorus was of initially 57% supported, and then after after this case it was only 55, 7%, it's only on 20 hours. Then, after if continue this separation using biochar, the separation was very low according to weight. So there was not so was was so clarified, because in case of using kisserates of magnesium sulfate with 6 magnesium hydrous magnesium sulfate was much efficiently during the day, because longer time was still not until 20 hours, but still after 60 hours they have 52%, because they're good in case of biochar were only in first time, in first 24 hours higher, but then the the biochar needed to be replaced or is so the biochar requires much more rate than phosphorus. So if we have to catch phosphorus in time not changing, the kiss rate is better. But if we find the method of fast biochar treatment, if no, then will it be better to use biochar. Therefore, this is the showing how the biochar, the cases when biochar is better for this case, or magnesium sulfate. This hydrous magnesium sulfate, and this is showing that if we have strong, the total phosphorus distribution in using only the case of pyrosate was uh, up to in case of uh, of biochar was only 250 per milligrams of waste, while in case of magnesium sulfate, in case of after 20 hours, was 500. The another case was in the initial days, in case of so was lower, but could be longer for longer time using, but not so long. So magnesium sulfate in daily using was much better results. Only biochar was better for short, so coming very shortly absorbing. So there is need to use to design biochar in such way to catch phosphorus in the changing in the stable 55 method, but the cost would be higher much than using nowadays. So nowadays the magnesium sulfate is better absorbing technique than biochar. But if we find the method of biochar recovery, biochar production with lower energy, this would be enough, because if and fast changing absorbing could be more, because could be much more more phosphorus produced recover, and this is the cases when what is better from these two methods. And thank you very much for listening me. That's all for today. Thank you very much.